Josh Smith with GottaBeMobile.com. Today I'm going to show you how to use the HTC One M8 to its full potential. Here's 30 plus tips and tricks for hardware, software, and accessories so you can get the most out of your new smartphone. And this is the dot case. As you can see over here, there are a lot of dots in here. And what that allows us to do is combine some motion gestures. So if there's a little bit of motion and a tap, I can see the time and I can see the weather and temp. Now if I have a missed call, I will see that here as well. Another thing, when I add that motion in, if I swipe down, call Adam Mills. If I get a phone call while my HTC One M8 is closed with this case, I'll be able to see the caller ID, and I can swipe up to answer and swipe down to ignore, as you see here, and then I can hold the whole phone up to my face, can take the phone call, do what I need without holding this flip back around. I'm done. The action of bringing it up and pushing the button there will launch the camera app, which are handy. So if you want to see the time or missed calls, a double tap would take you to your lock screen. If you swipe in from the right, you'll go straight to your home screen. And swipe in from the left, and you'll go to Blinkfeed. And if you swipe down from the top, it will start a voice dial, so you can say call and give a contact name and it will make that phone call. With Blinkfeed, you have access to a lot of news and social media content, and what you want to do is head over to Blinkfeed from your home screen, swipe over twice, and you'll get to your ability to add and customize. So you can pick the topics you want, you can connect your Facebook, Twitter, Google profiles. If you hit that menu item there, you can also compose for those social media things, pick your services and apps, and add your own content. So you can kind of add in a lot of different things here to really customize Blinkfeed. Now, one thing that you can do is customize your notification shortcuts. So we have a bunch of different notifications here. I don't own an HTC Mini Plus, so I want that off and want to add something there. So if I tap this little edit icon up at the top, I can scroll down and I can see, okay, HTC Mini Plus, and if I tap on these three bars, now I can move it down here somewhere that it's not. I can hit done, and now when I go to this, you'll see it has the items that I really want on there, and they're easy to access. One of the annoying things about Wi-Fi on the HTC One and a lot of Android smartphones these days are you get these constant notifications, hey, there's Wi-Fi, connect, hey, there's Wi-Fi, connect. If you don't like that, go into your Wi-Fi settings. I'm just going to hold on Wi-Fi there and it'll take me to them. Tap on that little drop down and go down to Advanced. Once you're on Advanced, you can pick Notify Me, uncheck that. You can turn on Auto Switch to Mobile Network. Now what this will do is if your Wi-Fi is bad or if the public Wi-Fi you're on is bad, it will basically just, boom, quick switch you over to your 3G, 4G, 4G LTE. If you pull down with two fingers, you'll go right to those settings instead of to your notifications. It's a real handy way to get to your settings. And then if you want to go to the settings for any of these items, you just long press on it and it'll take you right to those settings. When you're using the new HTC One M8, if you want access to Google Now, you just trigger a swipe up from that home button and scroll down to Personalize. Once you tap on Personalize, there's an option for Theme. So instead of just changing your wallpaper, you can change the actual overall theme of the phone, and we'll hit apply. And I'm not going to change my wallpaper because I really like the one I have going on. But this carries over into your menu bar, into your Blinkfeed, into the colors that you see throughout the phone. Yep, do not disturb. So you can tap that and you manually turn it on. It's going to put your phone on silent mode, block your notifications. And if you head into settings, you can make sure that your alarm and timer will play. You can set a schedule, you can add some exceptions, and I like you can have multiple schedules so you can have separate times during the week and separate times during the weekend. You can pick between my business credit card, my personal credit card, and a personal debit card, and then when I go to the store I just boop, tap it right onto a point of sale terminal and pay with whatever card I need to use for that purchase without having to dig a wallet out. I want to show you a really cool thing. If you have a micro USB to USB adapter or USB OTG adapter, you can plug in a Xbox 360 controller and you can actually play and control your character on the screen. If you need more storage and you've already used up your micro SD card, or maybe you just want to carry some movies around on a thumb drive, if you have this same USB OTG cable, plug it in, it will connect. USB storage is ready. You can use an app like ES File Explorer and go in here and see under USB. You can add more storage to your HTC One by popping out this little slot right here. Pop a small micro SD card you can buy on Amazon. You can double, triple your storage. One thing that you can do real simple is just pick it up, flip it over, and that will mute it. It won't end the call early, so the caller won't know you're dodging their call. So if you want the font size to be just really big, you will be able to change that to huge. The HTC One has a notification LED hidden away in the small speaker grill at the top, and you can actually change what lights that up. So as soon as I get a phone call and my phone starts to vibrate, I can just pick it up, hold it up to my head, and as soon as I hold it up to my head, it's answered the phone call. There's an infrared port built into the top of the HTC One, so if you tap on this TV icon right here, you can control your TV. So I have it set up to control my bedroom TV, so I'm able to turn that on and off. And there is this nice set of recommendations, and say watch now, and it's going to beam that to the TV, and I can just start watching it. The HTC One battery life is pretty good, but if you want to always know what power you have available, go into settings, scroll down to power, and then you can tap on this checkbox to show battery level, and you'll get a % reading up there instead of just the small bar that depletes. The HTC One comes with kid mode, which is a nice way to basically lock your kid out from access to a lot of your apps, contacts, things like that. Hold down the power button, and when this pops up, hit kid mode. You can hit OK, and it'll take you in. And so I can go to the parent's dashboard if I need to adjust things, but here I have a child that's in here, and there's access to a bunch of different apps and videos. These videos are all in here by default, and then I can add access to other apps that I've downloaded from the Google Play Store. One thing that we recommend doing is setting up a lock screen, so you can choose the lock screen you want, whether you want it to face unlock or pattern. Pattern's a pretty popular one on Android devices, and you can just set a pattern like that. Do it twice and you've set it up. And when you do this, you can also have it hide certain information from the lock screen so that it's not available to everyone. That's a very handy way to basically secure your device. Another thing that you can do is you can enable lock screen widgets. So if you check that box, if you scroll down from that lock screen thing, you can go into notification settings and choose what will show up on your lock screen. There are a few tips and tricks to type faster on the HTC One keyboard. One of the things you can do is you can turn on trace mode, and so with that I can trace around and enter a word using just tracing. You can customize the color. It's similar to a Swift key or a Flow style keyboard. Other things that you can do, I can long press and hold and get access to that little gray area above any of the keys. If I long press and hold down here in the bottom corner, quick access to an emoji keyboard, tap on the ABC to go back. If I long press and hold over here on the period, it'll bring up Google Voice Dictation. And if you long press on the comma, you'll go into settings, and that's where you can turn on trace keyboard. You can also turn on arrow keys, and if you want, you can go into advanced. If your keyboard is misbehaving, use the calibration tool and recalibrate the keyboard, and it will dramatically improve your typing skills. And if this is not your first smartphone, you can get content from another phone. So I can pull in content from an HTC Android phone, from a different Android phone like Samsung, Motorola, etc., or from iPhone. And as you go through these different settings, it will let you, for the iPhone, I can restore from an iTunes backup, so I can connect to my computer and pull everything in. Or if I just need contacts, I can do that over Bluetooth. The iTunes backup is going to bring more stuff over. For Android devices, you can get your contacts, messages, photos, videos, music, and all that. If you want to be able to end calls by tapping on your power button, you can go into Settings, Accessibility, and then put a check mark in there under Power Button Ends Call. Say you need to know how much data you're using because you're on a limited data plan. Go to Settings, pick Data Usage, and as long as this checkbox is available or is ticked, you're going to be using mobile data when you're not on Wi-Fi. Now what you can do are choose different things. Choose your reset day, so pick the day that your plan switches over and it will monitor your data usage for you. It'll show you on this graph how much data you've used. You can set up mobile, or you can set up alerts so that once you hit a certain amount you get an alert, and then you can see which apps have used the most data. That way you're able to control what you're doing when you're away from Wi-Fi. If you want to change the icons down here or the icons on your lock screen, basically all you have to do is go to your main screen and remove the one that you don't want, and then click or tap and hold and drag the one you do want down there, and that will change what is on your lock screen. The HTC One will allow you to take a better selfie. So if you tap on this small icon in the lower right and choose Selfie, it's going to use the 5 megapixel camera on the front, and it is optimized to take a better selfie. So if I tap, it's going to do 3, 2, 1, snap, and it'll take your photo. One of the really nice features about the camera here is the ability to use the Zoe camera. So go into your settings, tap on Zoe, and so when I tap and hold this, it's going to take a bunch of photos in a burst mode as well as record a video. And then I can go into my settings or into my gallery, and this little icon here shows me that this is a Zoe and I can move through it. Now the best example is not using a small thing like this, it's with a pet or a kid, and you can slide through and you can really find the best photo with their eyes open, perfect smile on their face, and you've captured in that amount of time all these different photos. And in addition to that, you did capture a video that you can play back. So you can share all of this, you can use it to highlights clip to make something that looks a little nicer and share on Facebook from all of your photos for that day. So if you take a photo using just the regular camera mode, you can then go into Edit, and under Effects there's a U-Focus mode. So once I tap this, it's going to process, and so now you can see that this case and this pen are out of focus. And so I can tap on that pen and bring the pen into focus, that frontmost part of the pen, and this starts to blur a little bit. So I can choose between a close object and most of the background goes out of focus, and I can choose to focus on this far away object and the front tends to come out of focus a little bit. You can also use this dual capture mode, which allows you to take a photo of something on the other side and use the front-facing camera so you're in the picture as well, and you get a result that combines both of those. And when you're using the Zoe camera, because it's taking all of these frames, what you can do is you can show action. So I'm going to take a Zoe photo and move that guy across the screen, and then I'm going to go into Edit. If I slide over to the side, you should be able to choose a sequence shot. It didn't have the right movement there, but say you're taking a photo of someone jumping into a swimming pool from a distance. As long as you hold the camera steady, you can go to sequence shot and show multiple areas of motion. You can also do object removal. Say you're in a looks like I can remove a few things from this, but this is more useful. Say you're taking a photo of your friend in front of a famous sculpture or something and someone's walking by or riding a bicycle through. You should be able to, if you use Zoe, to pull those people out so you get a better overall looking photo. You can also use these to create a GIF of the movement. So if I want that, I can hit next, and it's going to create an animated photo that I can then share, and people can see it. So I don't have to share a video, but I can still show movement. The other effect that you can do in here, if we jump back out, is you can choose Always Smile. And if you took a picture of several people with different faces, or several people, it's going to look at their faces for all of the shots you took and find one where the person is smiling.